She could deliver your first grandchild. He could hire your niece at a new startup. He could keep you cheering all March long. She could design the shuttle that makes you want to fly. New York children, our children, are full of potential and dreams. We want them to achieve that potential and make a difference here at home, across our state, and throughout the world. The key is education.
There aren't many things that are more important to that idea of economic mobility, the idea that you can make it if you try, than a good education.
Yet gone are the days when simply mastering the 3 R's could get you into a great college or career. Today, students need to challenge themselves creatively and be critical thinkers, good communicators, and innovative problem solvers if they hope to compete for the best schools and jobs. They not only have to meet higher education standards than ever before, they also have to graduate with more high-level learning experiences if they have any hope of being competitive with today's colleges and employers. That's why cuts to education funding over the last 5 years through the gap elimination adjustment are so hard for our children to bear. School districts in New York State have now lost a combined $9.53 billion in promised state aid to the GEA, a tactic used to balance past deficits in the state budget. In some cases, quality educational programs have been systematically dismantled. Opportunities for students, our children, our community, have been lost. Not every district in our region is on the brink of disaster, but the reality is there are some that have already been crippled by this continuous loss of state aid, and many other districts, suburban, urban, and rural alike, are following close behind. And despite talk of a projected state budget surplus of $6.2 billion next year, there is no end to the GEA in sight. Making matters worse, a national report card on school funding in all 50 states gave New York high marks for funding adequacy and statewide effort, but it earned a grade of F for funding distribution.
New York is an interesting state, high spending, deeply regressive still. The kinds of disparities we saw in New Jersey and in Massachusetts 20, 30 years ago.
For schools in this region and many others like us across the state, that means when legislators helped us by restoring some of the funding lost to the GEA last year, not nearly enough made it to the schools that needed it the most. Already, schools across the state are bracing for another year of unpopular to untenable budget cuts, which will further diminish opportunities for the children we serve. Our children can't afford to wait another year for the GEA to end. Communities and schools must work together now to ensure that a whole generation of children aren't shortchanged when it comes to their future. Parents, teachers, taxpayers, administrators, board members, business leaders, and legislators, now is the time to act. Get involved. Learn more about the issues by contacting your district. Advocate with your elected officials. Together, we can stand up for our students. Stand up for their potential. Stand up for their dreams.